Very good morning. You're tuned into the breakfast news on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Let us start the news bulletin with the headlines. Prime Minister calls upon IT professionals to spread awareness about water conservation and other environmental issues. At a town hall interaction in Delhi says global warming a challenge and rampant exploitation of natural resources not an Indian tradition. Israel to supply missile defense systems for $777 million to India. Deal for supply of Barak 8 long-range surface-to-air missile systems to 7 ships of the Navy. Israel Aerospace Industries announces contract entered with Bharat Electronics Limited. $240 candidates left in the fray in Chhattisgarh for the first phase of polls after end of scrutiny of nominations on Wednesday. Congress announces names of all candidates for the 28th of November Mizoram Assembly polls. Potential explosive devices sent to the homes of former US President Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Packages also sent to the office of CNN News Network. Police term it an attempted terrorist attack. President Donald Trump says threats of political violence have no place in America. And India-West Indies' second ODI ends in a draw despite Virat Kohli's historic knock to enter record books for the fastest 10,000 runs. Shuttler Saina Nehwal, Kidambi Shrikant and B. Sai Praneeth advanced to the second round of French Open Badminton. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called on IT professionals to work towards spreading awareness about the importance of environment protection and the promoting traditional ways of water conservation. Talking at a town hall with the IT professionals and tech enthusiasts in Delhi, he said that rampant exploitation of natural resources is not an Indian tradition.
जिस प्रकार से ग्लोबल वार्मिंग, एनवायरनमेंट के इश्यूज, इन सब से हम परेशानी भुगत रहे हैं और परेशानी दिनों दिन नज़र आ रही है कि कैसी जा सकती है और इसलिए नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज बचाना ये हमारा दायित्व है और ये भारत जैसे देश में आज जो हम कर रहे हैं वो हमारी परंपरा नहीं है, वो हमारी संस्कृति भी नहीं है, ये हमारे अंदर आई हुई विकृति है जो हमने कहीं से बोरो की है। यूज एंड थ्रो, मेरे सुख के लिए मुझे जितना पानी चाहिए मैं उपयोग करूंगा, औरों को मिले या न मिले। ये एक बहुत बड़ा दुखद परिस्थिति है।
And during the interaction, the Prime Minister said that people are paying taxes now because they have faith that the government is using their money properly. The Prime Minister also pitched for a tax plus one system where citizens do a little more towards society besides honestly paying taxes. He said that the future lies in technology that should be used to develop solutions for issues facing the world's fastest growing economy. The Prime Minister said that the government may have big schemes and budgets, but the success of any initiative lies in public involvement. While batting for inclusive growth, he said that it is important to create equal opportunities for everyone. And speaking about the recent spike in international oil prices, the Prime Minister said that electric vehicles is an answer to the situation. And for this, he urged domestic entrepreneurs to develop a low-cost, affordable battery and a charging system to quickly charge cars run on electricity.
भारत की वर्तमान में 25 से 40 के बीच की जो पीढ़ी है उसमें ये सहज भाव पैदा हो रहा है, दिखता है, लेकिन इसमें अगर सामूहिकता जुड़ती है तो वो एक ताकत के रूप में उभर करके आता है। उसको कहीं न कहीं एक मिशन के साथ जोड़ दे। स्ट्रक्चरल व्यवस्था की जरूरत नहीं है, एक मिशन के साथ जोड़ दे, एक प्लेटफॉर्म के हो, वो लचीला हो, हर कोई अपनी मर्जी से करता हो, लेकिन जो करता हो वो कहीं न कहीं जमा होता जाए, परिणाम जमा होता जाए तो परिवर्तन भी नजर आना शुरू हो जाता है। और ये बात निश्चित है, भारत की तकदीर तकनीक में है।
The Prime Minister also launched the Self for Society initiative. The platform will enable various organizations to create their own initiatives under the identified national causes to serve the society better. The app aims to make corporate social responsibility more collaborative and meaningful.
हमारी ये जो बिखरी हुई सेवा शक्ति है, और मैं देख रहा हूं कि इन दिनों सोशल स्टार्टअप का एक युग शुरू हुआ है। ये बृहद परिवार से भी बृहद परिवार, मेरा पूरा समाज, मेरा पूरा देश, ये अपने आप में एक ताकत बन जाता है। इसी भाव को लेकर के आज सर्विस का भाव लेकर के आईटी टू सोसाइटी की यात्रा है ये। तो एक तरफ आईटी टू सोसाइटी है तो आईआईटी टू सोसाइटी भी है।
And the second edition of the India Mobile Congress Conference is set to kick off from today. The conference will be held from today till 27th of October at Aerospace, New Delhi, with a slew of parallel events taking place at the same venue. The theme this year is the New Digital Horizons: Connect, Create, Innovate, aimed to build upon forging industry relationships between key partners and to showcase a leading-edge technology. The digital forum, set to be South Asia's largest, will see industry partners, service providers, policy makers and the likes deliberate over how the emerging technologies like 5G and artificial intelligence will play out in the Indian context. The impending launch of 5G communication technology will be the subject for extended discussions at the IMC 2018. After debuting successfully in 2017, this year's event is expected to attract over 1 lakh participants and 1,300 exhibitors. On to some other news, the Seoul Peace Prize Committee has decided to confer the 2018 Seoul Peace Prize on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Prime Minister expressed gratitude for the prestigious honours, and after assessing over 100 candidates proposed by over 1,300 nominators from around the world, the award committee decided to bestow the prize on the Prime Minister by calling him the perfect candidate. Akhilesh Suman brings us this report.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been conferred with the Seoul Peace Prize for 2018 for his contribution to international cooperation and fostering global economic growth. Accepting the award, the Prime Minister expressed gratitude for being given the prestigious honour against the background of India's deepening partnership with South Korea. The award committee credited Modinomics for reducing social and economic disparity between the rich and the poor. It also praised the Prime Minister's initiatives in making the government cleaner through anti-corruption measures and demonetization.
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी नरेंद्र मोदी जी को मिला है, उसमें जो उल्लेखनीय बात है वो 4 है। जिस तरह से प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भारत की आर्थिक दिशा और दशा को गतिमान किया है, ग्रेट इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट। दूसरा, सर्वव्यापी डेवलपमेंटल गोल विच टचेस ऑल सेक्शन ऑफ सोसाइटी। एंड थर्ड, द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट, बाय इनिशिएटिंग प्रोग्राम्स लाइक GST and Notbandi, the Prime Minister has given a strong, I would say, attack against corruption and prohibiting them to a large extent.
Prime Minister Modi is the 14th recipient of the award that will be presented by the Seoul Peace Prize Foundation. The Seoul Peace Prize was established in 1990 to commemorate the success of the 24th Olympic Games in the city. It recognizes great contributions made to the harmony of mankind and reconciliation between nations and world peace. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The Union Cabinet took some key decisions at its meeting on Wednesday. Among them were approvals for the setting up of Indian Institute of Skills or IISCs at various places in the country under the PPP model. The Cabinet also raised supervisory visiting charges of ASHA workers from 250 rupees to 300 rupees per visit. The Cabinet also approved a broad gauge railway line between Baharaich and Khalilabad at a cost of 5,000 crore rupees.
The Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday, approved setting up of Indian Institutes of Skills at various locations across the country. The institutes, set up with public-private partnership, will provide aspiring youth opportunity to have access to highly skilled training.
हमारी सरकार स्किलिंग, रीस्किलिंग एंड बेंचेबल स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑफ स्किलिंग के बारे में बहुत कोशिश करती रही है। तो इसके लिए बहुत आवश्यक था कि प्रोफेशनली कॉम्पिटेंट एंड प्रोफेशनली रन इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ स्किल्स की हम स्थापना करें, जो पीपीपी मॉडल में भी चले, प्राइवेट सेक्टर का भी हम उसमें सहयोग लें।
The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs also approved an increase in supervisory visit charges for accredited social health activists or ASHA facilitators. The charges have been raised from 250 rupees to 300 rupees per visit. With this, ASHA workers will get 6,000 rupees per month for 2018-19 and 2019-20. This marks a substantial raise from the previous 5,000 rupees per month. The decision will benefit 1 crore health workers in the country.
पहले भी मैंने कैबिनेट के प्रस्ताव के बारे में आपको बताया था कि इनके पूरे स्टाइपेंड को हमने बढ़ाया है 1,000 रुपये, बाकी 1,000 रुपये। The total impact is going to be 1 crore in the entire country. तो आज 1 करोड़ महिला बेनिफिशरी जो स्वास्थ्य सेवा में लगी हैं, आंगनवाड़ी में लगी हैं, उनको एक बहुत बड़ा फायदा हुआ है।
The Cabinet has also cleared the constitution of a high-level steering committee to periodically review the National Indicator Framework to monitor sustainable development goals. The committee will be chaired by the Chief Statistician of India, while Niti Aayog Secretary will be its member. In another decision, the Cabinet also approved setting up the Appellate Tribunal and Adjudicating Authority for speedy disposal of cases related to Benami transactions. The Cabinet also approved the creation of Fisheries and Aquaculture Infrastructure Development Fund with over 7,500 crore rupees. Further, the Union Cabinet approved signing of extradition treaty between India and Malawi. With inputs from Panchanan Mishra, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
On to some other news, Israel Aerospace Industries has announced that it has signed a $777 million contract with India for the supply of long-range surface-to-air defense missile systems to the Indian Navy. The IAI will supply LRSAM air and missile defense systems, the marine version of the anti-missile defense system Barak 8 for 7 ships of the Indian Navy. The LRSAM system is an operational air and missile defense system used by Israel's Navy as well as by India's Navy, air and land forces. The system provides a broad aerial and point defense against a wide range of threats to the marine air arena from air, sea or land. The new contract announced by IAI has been entered with Indian state-owned company Bharat Electronics Limited, which serves as the main contractor in the project. And in an unprecedented shake-up in CBI's 55-year history, both the CBI Director Alok Verma and Special Director Rakesh Asthana were stripped of their powers and sent on leave by the government. Joint Director M. Nageshwar Rao, a 1986 batch Odisha cadre IPS officer, was appointed to look after the duties and functions of the Director with immediate effect as an interim measure. In this report, let's look at the genesis of the current crisis.
Amid grave allegations of corruption against senior functionaries of the Central Bureau of Investigation, the government stepped in on Wednesday and appointed M. Nageshwar Rao as interim chief of the investigating agency with immediate effect. CBI Director Alok Verma and Special Director Rakesh Asthana were sent on leave. They were also divested of all powers amid an ongoing spat. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said the government's decision to remove Alok Verma and Rakesh Asthana was based on the recommendations of the Central Vigilance Commission, asserting that it was essential to restore the CBI's institutional integrity and credibility.
इन आरोपों की जांच न तो ये 2 अधिकारी कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि इन दोनों पे स्वयं आरोप है, और न ही इनकी सुपरविजन में कोई एजेंसी कर सकती है। इसलिए जब तक इसकी जांच होगी, टू मेंटेन द इंस्टीट्यूशनल इंटेग्रिटी ऑफ द सीबीआई एंड इन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ फेयरनेस प्योरली एज एन इंटरिम मेजर, They will sit out by going on leave for a certain period of time. It's an interim measure. And an SIT not functioning under either of these two officers will investigate the case.
The spat between Alok Verma and Rakesh Asthana is the first of its kind in the history of CBI. It became public when Verma objected to the elevation of then Additional Director Rakesh Asthana as Special Director before the Central Vigilance Commission. Although the objections were noted, the Commission in a unanimous decision cleared Asthana as Special Director, making him the second in command in the agency. Rakesh Asthana, who was in charge of the Special Investigation Team, filed a complaint against Alok Verma on 24th August, alleging that he took a bribe of 2 crore rupees from an accused investigated by him. Asthana also complained about 10 more cases of alleged corruption and irregularities against the director. He even alleged that Verma had tried to stop raids against RJD Supremo Lalu Prasad Yadav. In his response, Verma told the CVC that Asthana's role was under probe in at least 6 cases, including one related to the loan default by Gujarat-based Sterling Biotech. While communications between Verma, Asthana and the CVC were being exchanged, they also found way into the media, and reports of the first of its kind spat in the top brass of the agency were out in public glare. The feud between the two top officers escalated when, in an unprecedented move, the CBI registered an FIR against Rakesh Asthana on 15th October for allegedly taking a bribe from an accused probed by him in lieu of ensuring relief and a clean chit in the case. The case was registered on a statement of the alleged bribe giver Satish Sana, who was facing probe in a separate case of bribery involving meat exporter Moin Qureshi. The CBI also arrested Devendra Kumar, a deputy SP in Rakesh Asthana's team. However, Asthana in his complaint against the CBI director 2 months ago had alleged that it was Sana who paid Alok Verma 2 crore rupees to get relief. Rakesh Asthana approached the Delhi High Court on 23rd October seeking quashing the agency's FIR against him. The court directed the CBI to maintain status quo on the criminal proceedings initiated against Asthana till 29th October, but clarified there was no stay on the ongoing probe, considering the nature and gravity of the case. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And the government has constituted a group of ministers to strengthen the legal and institutional frameworks to deal with and prevent sexual harassment at workplace. The GOM will be headed by Home Minister Rajnath Singh and will have Road Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari, Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and Women and Child Development Minister Maneka Gandhi as other members. It will examine existing legal and institutional frameworks to deal with the matters of sexual harassment at workplace within 3 months. The GOM will also recommend action required for effective implementation of the existing provisions. The GOM has been set up in the wake of a Me Too movement where several women have publicly named people who had allegedly harassed them at workplace.
हम लोग ये देखेंगे कि नेशनल कमीशन ऑफ वुमेन को कैसे ताकतवर करें, हम कौन से इंस्टीट्यूशनल चेंजेस लाएंगे पक्सों में. हमने अभी तक तो वो बना दिया है नियम कि देयर इज़ नो टाइम लिमिट शिकायतों की. फिर भी इन बहुत सारे चेंजेस हम कोशिश करेंगे इसके बारे में सोचना, और मैं आभारी होंगी अगर किसी के पास सजेशन है तो वो भी हमें भेज दें तो हम उसको सोच लेंगे.
Let's get you all the election-related news now. The scrutiny of nominations ended on Wednesday for the first phase of elections to be held on 12th of November. In the last assembly elections in 2013, nominations of a total 172 candidates were found valid in these constituencies. The last date for the withdrawal of nomination papers is 26th of October in this phase. And the Congress party has announced the names of all of its candidates for the 28th of November assembly polls in Mizoram. Chief Minister Lal Thanhawla will contest from 2 seats, both reserved for the scheduled tribe category. The Central Election Committee of the Congress selected the candidates. The 40-member Mizoram Assembly will go to polls on 28th of November and the results will be announced on 11th of December. And now news on the Sabarimala Rao, the Travancore Devaswam board that administers the Lord Ayappa temple in the hill shrine has decided against filing a review petition against the Supreme Court order. The apex court had lifted the ban on the entry of women of menstruating age into the temple. The board said that the review petition has no relevance now. Meanwhile, 4 young women approached the Kerala High Court seeking a direction to the state government to provide them security so that they could offer prayers at the temple. The court said has sought the state government's response. The TDB's decision not to file a review petition came a day after the Supreme Court listed for hearing 19 such pleas for hearing on 13th of November. The TDB also said that it won't file a report in the Supreme Court on the situation that prevailed at the shrine and the surrounding areas in the aftermath of its order. Let's get you all the international news. First up, news from the United States, where authorities say that pipe bombs have been sent to prominent critics of US President Donald Trump, spreading terror in the US less than 2 weeks before the midterm elections. Packages containing suspected explosives were sent to the homes of former President Barack Obama and the former Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton, but they were intercepted by the US Secret Service. 2 more suspect packages addressed a Democratic Congresswoman of California and a former Attorney General were discovered before reaching their targets. And CNN evacuated its studios in New York after what police called the live explosive device was found in its mailroom. The package was addressed to John Brennan, the former CIA director. Suspected bombs were sent to locations in New York, in Washington, D.C. area and Florida. None of the packages exploded. The FBI has launched a hunt for their sender. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has called on people to be more civil in politics after the developments. Speaking on Wednesday at a rally in Wisconsin, the president vowed to catch the perpetrator and called on the media to stop endless hostility.
The safety of the American people is my highest and absolute priority. I have just concluded a briefing with the FBI, Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, and the U.S. Secret Service. As we speak, the packages are being inspected by top explosive experts, and a major federal investigation is now underway. The full weight of our government is being deployed to conduct this investigation and bring those responsible for these despicable acts to justice.
And Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman on Wednesday described the killing of Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi as a heinous crime in his first comments since the Saudis admitted that the journalist had been killed at the consulate. Speaking at the investors' conference in Riyadh that has been overshadowed by the crisis, Mohammed bin Salman said that those responsible for the killing would be brought to justice. Bin Salman further said that the crime was painful to all Saudis, but he would never allow any rift with Turkey. After Saudi Arabia admitted over the weekend that Khashoggi was killed on 2nd of October in its Istanbul consulate, 5 high-ranking officials were dismissed, including bin Salman's media chief and the deputy head of the Saudi intelligence service. 18 people were also arrested. Riyadh has maintained that neither bin Salman nor his father, King Salman, knew of the operation to target Khashoggi. Khashoggi died during our 2nd of October visit to the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. The Saudi government has blamed the murder on rogue agents.
الحادث اللي حدث مؤلم جدا لجميع السعوديين، خاصة لأنه مواطن سعودي، وأعتقد أنه مؤلم لأي إنسان موجود في العالم. هو حادث بشع غير مبرر تماما. اليوم المملكة العربية السعودية تقوم باتخاذ كل الإجراءات القانونية للتحقيق واكتمال التحقيقات بالعمل مع الحكومة التركية للوصول لنتائج وتقديم المذنبين للمحاكمة وأخذ العقاب الرادع.
And all the sporting action now. Virat Kohli became the fastest cricketer to score 10,000 runs in one-day internationals, but West Indies stole a tie from India in the second ODI. Chasing a target of 322 runs, West Indies lost 2 early wickets for just 64 runs, but a brilliant unbeaten knock of 123 runs from Shai Hope helped West Indies tie the match. Needing 14 runs in the final over and 5 off the last ball, Shai cut Umesh Yadav for a boundary to level the score. Earlier batting first, the men in blue posted a huge total of 321 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in their allotted 50 overs. India lost 2 early wickets in the form of vice-captain Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan, but skipper Virat Kohli's unbeaten knock of 157 runs helped the men in blue to post 321 on board. In the process, Kohli also became the fastest batsman to reach the 10,000 milestone in one-day international, surpassing Sachin Tendulkar's record. Tendulkar took 259 innings to get there, while Kohli has so far batted in 205 innings. Kohli also became the fastest to get 1,000 runs in a calendar year, taking just 11 innings. An Indian men's hockey team defeated South Korea in their 5th and final round-robin match of the Asian Champions Trophy in Muscat. The men in blue beat South Korea 4-1. Harmanpreet Singh scored a hat-trick to help the Indian side seal the victory. He converted 3 of the 4 penalty corners to reach the feed, while Gurjant Singh scored 1 goal for India, and for South Korea, Lee Song-gil scored the lone goal. India had already booked their spot in the semi-finals, but it was a do-or-die game for the Koreans. Now, India lead the table with 4 wins and 1 draw and are unbeaten in the tournament so far. And Indian shuttlers Saina Nehwal, Kidambi Shrikant and B. Sai Praneeth have advanced to the second round of the French Open Badminton in Paris. In women's singles, Saina Nehwal defeated Japan's Saena Kawakami 21-11, 21-11 to make it to the pre-quarterfinals. She will face a 2017 world champion Nozomi Okuhara of Japan today. While in another women's singles, third-seeded PV Sindhu will face Sayaka Sato of Japan today. In the men's singles, the defending champion Shrikant beat Hong Kong's Wong Wing Ki Winsett 21-19, 21-13 in the opening round, and he will next face Lee Dong-kyun of Korea today. While in another men's singles, K. Sai Praneeth defeated Brazilian Igor Coelho 21-13, 21-17 to set up a clash against Jonathan Christie of Indonesia. And in the men's doubles, Indian duo of Manu Atri and B. Sumit Reddy defeated Korean duo of Min Hyuk Kang and Kim Wong Ho 21-18, 21-17. The duo will face their Chinese rivals today. And in tennis, India's Rohan Bopanna paired with Spain's Marcel Granollers and they lost to their Croatian-British rivals in the doubles quarterfinals of the ATP tennis tournament. Bopanna and Granollers lost their quarterfinal match 6-2, 6-3, 3-10 to the Croatian-British pair of Franco Skugor and Dominic Inglot to crash out of the competition. Earlier, the Indian-Spanish duo defeated Spanish rivals 6-1, 6-4 to make it to the quarterfinals. An Indian wrestler Ritu Malik lost her bronze medal bout at the Wrestling Federation in Budapest. Ritu lost her bronze medal bout to her Japanese rival Ayana Gampi 3-7 in the 65 kg freestyle category. While in the 62 kg category, Sakshi Malik was defeated by Japan's Yukako Kawai 2-16. And in the 50 kg category, Ritu Phogat, who replaced her injured cousin Vinesh Phogat, lost the quarterfinal by fall to her Japanese rival. And that's the wrap on this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching and have a great day ahead.